So there are a bunch of types of schools that you can go to as a nurse. Now, I'm not really going to focus on which one makes you a better nurse, but let's focus on the facts of the programs that you can get through nursing. So I was a community college graduate. I went to community college, and that's what I know. I've worked with nurses that have graduated from four-year universities, community colleges, and what's called a for-profit school. And the one that I looked up today, ecpi, is the one that's kind of around here. They have a campus that's local. Well, it's not really local, but it's the closest one to anything else around here. There's also like South University, Strayer University, Phoenix University. There's one called like Virginia Technical University or something like that. Those are called for-profit schools. So let's start with community college. That's where I went. That's what I know. It took me 3 years. It took me 3 years. That's not the length of my degree. All told, I took classes for roughly 5 years. I was married, and depending on which part of the system you're talking about, I had a child. So I did take time off. I looked it up today, and my former college, my former community college, the average price of graduation from start to finish in the nursing program is $8,600. $8,600. It's a 2-year program for the ADM program, and it's $8,600. So keep that in mind. You also have prereqs you've got to get out of the way. That's just what it is. So 2-year program, $8,600, but you have prereqs you got to get out of the way. Next, one that I looked into but didn't go to is ecpi, the for-profit school. I looked into it, didn't do it, decided against it. It was Monday through Friday, like 8 to 5 every day. You really didn't get a break, but I looked it up this morning, and they had like a fast-track program that was 60 weeks. That is like roughly 14 months. That is 0 to degree in 60 weeks. You cram a lot in 60 weeks. Remember, I paid about $5,300 is what my calculations came to. But now they say $8,600. It's been a few years, but the school said $8,600. I paid about $5,300 for mine. But ecpi, 60-week program. This is ecpi now. I didn't look up all of them. I just looked them up because they're local. 60-week program is roughly $42,000. You have to come up with $42,000 somehow. I'm sure that there's a loan program that you can take out and get it. But 60 weeks, 0 to degree. Took me 3 years. 3 years of straight through. Like I said, it took me about 5 years to get the whole thing. I kind of took my time. In any case, 60 weeks, and you're a applied science nurse. I think is what the degree is. At $42,000 for the whole thing. I have no idea how hard that is. I do know that it's every single day, and they cram your prereqs into it also. So you got a lot to think about if you do a ecpi. And then I looked up North Carolina State University. It's not, it is local because I'm in North Carolina, but I don't really live close to North Carolina State University. But that's just the one that I picked because, I knew they had a nursing program, and they're one of the cheapest universities in North Carolina, I think. I guess we'll say it that way. I'm sure there's cheaper universities in North Carolina. But per semester, It's $23,000 if you live in North Carolina. Of course, it goes up if you don't live in North Carolina. And all the information that you need per semester, you can look it up at that school's website. I just simply looked it up at, it was like ncsu.edu, and it told me, it broke it down per semester, per credit hour, whatever I wanted it to break it down to. Like I said, $23,000 per semester, and it's 4 years, but you come out with a BSN. To me, it would really only make sense to do that if you were like straight out of high school. I was not, I went due to losing my job is how I went back to nursing school. The 2008 economic crisis contributed to me being a nurse. But had I got out of school and became a nurse, I'd have probably done the 4-year university thing if I'd even thought about it back when I was in high school. At my age now, it doesn't make sense for me to go to a 4-year university to start over. I could probably do somebody's night program. Western Carolina has one, to where I could go back to school just for my BSN. Winston-Salem State University also has one. So there are a few local schools that have those. I didn't look those up. I only looked up from 0 to degree. Community college, my local community college, you have your LPN program, you have your ADN program. Your LPN is 1 year, your ADN is 2 year, $8,600. And that's out the door, $8,600. Took me 3 years, like I said earlier, and I've only got the LPN. I've only got the 1 year degree. Took me 3 years, so who knows what it'd take you to do an ADN. After that, you've got your ecpi, $42,000. That is a lot of money, but you are completely finished, prereqs and everything, in 60 weeks, just over a year, like a year and 2 months. And then you've got your 4-year BSN top dog degree, $23,000 per semester, for North Carolina State University. Now, other universities could be different. Just look it up if that's what you're considering. But you're a BSN, and it does take 4 years. It wasn't right for me. It's not right for me now. Out of high school, that's probably what I would have done had I known I wanted to be a nurse. I didn't know at the time. I didn't think that in 2008 we were going to have economic crisis. I just wanted to work on cars. Anyways, that's your numbers. That's your figures for those schools. Thank you much. Hope it helps.